will next month's local elections bring an end to service delivery protests?
We are involved in a process of trying to find lasting solutions.
Balfour, the town where violent service delivery protests took place in 2009, revisited, and a total onslaught against poverty, hunger, and unemployment in the Free State.
What is going on in the Free State currently? National government is very impressed.
Well, a very good evening to you. It's a brand new week and welcome to our special pre-election program. My name's Leanne Manus.
Well, good evening to you. I am Thabiso Sitola, and hopefully it's a jam-packed show again, as we do.
Certainly you'll enjoy it. Remember that we'd like you to correspond with us on this particular program. Take part in the discussions by sending us your comments via SMS. All you have to do is write the word elect, followed by your message. Now remember that SMS will cost you R1.50 each.
But first, here's a short wrap of the latest election news as compiled by Richard Ingram.
The new Nelson Mandela Bay Metro in Port Elizabeth is a highly sought-after area by political parties. In the 2009 national and provincial elections, the ANC won just over 50% of the vote in the metro area, with the DA and the Congress of the People, or COPE, securing 29% and 17% respectively. But things have changed in recent years, with the ruling party slowly losing support in Port Elizabeth.
There has been a lot of issues with the African National Congress within the metro. We see the education crisis. We also have a drought crisis that's not being dealt with effectively. And very recently, a report released indicating that there is some financial maladministration and wasteful expenditure.
Reports of maladministration in the metro have led to the cancellation of housing, roads and other infrastructure projects.
We're basing our confidence that we'll be able to take this metro from empirical evidence of visiting various homes within our own municipality here. People are actually expressing themselves quite clearly, and their dissatisfactions, their frustrations.
The DA says plans to form a coalition with COPE are not out of the question, but for now the focus is on the polls next month.
The people in this metro are hungry for change. You can see it by the levels of dissatisfaction amongst the traditional ANC voters.
But the ANC disagrees.
We have not been threatened by anybody, by the way. In fact, the DA must be threatened by us in the Western Cape. Anywhere in the country we are Democrats, and we will also win these elections fairly and freely everywhere in the country, including at Nelson Mandela Bay.
In Soweto, east of Johannesburg, the DA's mayoral candidate, Mmusi Maimane, went electioneering at the Barra taxi rank. After a first-hand look at the conditions for hawkers, he said they deserved better stalls to improve their businesses. At KwaNokuthula township near Plettenberg Bay in the Southern Cape, the leader of the Young Communist League, Buti Manamela, told ANC supporters to stop attacking each other because their chosen candidates didn't appear on a party list. He was speaking at a commemoration of the death of this SACP leader, Chris Hani, 18 years ago.
We are going to be telling our people that we must not concentrate on the enemy within. There's no enemy within. The enemy is out there. The enemy is blue.
Now, service delivery, or a lack of it, is a hot topic leading up to the local elections. In recent years, communities have been a battleground for angry and dissatisfied residents demanding better services. Now, Zintombi Mia filed this report basically showing that political parties will have their work cut out to convince residents of their good intentions.
Diepsloot, 2009. The scene of rampant carnage and destruction. This after angry demonstrators attacked passerbys and destroyed property. Almost 2 years later, and the pace of development is still slow, with no running water, no electricity and non-existent service delivery. TNS researchers say these conditions provide the perfect stage for renewed protests. Hangberg, an informal settlement at Hout Bay in the Cape Peninsula, was rocked by protests last year. The Metro Council sent in a demolition crew accompanied by police to destroy several informal homes, which it claimed had been illegally erected. The residents' anger sprang from the city's inability to provide them with decent housing. With the local elections around the corner, residents in dispirited townships and informal settlements could use the election as a platform to voice their unhappiness. According to the research, over half the metro residents in the country are unhappy about service delivery. This figure indicates that violence is almost a certainty. When 30% of the workforce is unhappy, strikes or protests are likely. But not all researchers are convinced and remain skeptical over renewed protests. Municipal IQ's recent research data suggests that service delivery protests could heat up after the elections. Councillor accountability, the quality of basic services and housing become trigger points of the protests, which have become a feature of the local government landscape. However, expectations are high with over 120 billion rand allocated for housing and community infrastructure.
We are involved in a process of trying to find lasting solutions. We've agreed working with the public protector, whom we are building a partnership with.
Meanwhile, life remains a daily struggle for Joe. With no house, no job, he's forced to live in this dingy and dilapidated shack in South Africa's largest informal settlement. He blames the government for not helping him enough.
This Toyo strike is not politically driven. It's the real grievances of the people to the core. Yes. Since, well, all these years, for more than 20 years, I arrived in Orange Farm 89. The toilet budget vanished, went down the drain. The street construction budget vanished.
His sentiments are echoed by many other South Africans.
He doesn't worry about us because he gets a nice life the way he is.
If you can go inside and check where we are staying like pigs inside. We want those promises to be fulfilled, and we are tired and sick of those empty promises.
If government they don't take actions before the elections, so we can't vote.
What research has shown is that service delivery protests have been increasing in frequency and intensity. Public dissatisfaction has reached unprecedented levels, and the responsibility for solving the problem through comprehensive intervention lies squarely on the shoulders of the soon-to-be elected councillors. Nozintombi Mia, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Quite emotional that insert was. Anyway, coming up after the break, we'll take a look at what is being done in the Free State to address service delivery problems. Stay with us. Don't go away.
It's so simple with Telkom. For just 369 Rand per month, you get ADSL broadband internet, plus a free ADSL modem on a 24-month contract, plus free calls Telkom to Telkom weeknights and weekends, plus a free 8-hour 3G modem with 1-hour 500 megs free data. So call us now on 0800 000011. Visit your nearest Telkom direct store or SMS Simple and your name to 34702. T's and C's apply.
Opens up new roads. The new Citroën C4. Positive power.
Citroën. Creative technology.
Test drive the new Citroën C4 and the rest of our range at our dealer open day on 16 April.
How did it come to be that an exceptional cask-matured whiskey was made right here in South Africa? Well, in the mid-1800s, shipping a whiskey to the Cape wasn't exactly smooth sailing. So to ensure whiskey and the sea never again meet, a whiskey was created to rival the world's finest. 3 ships, internationally acclaimed cask-matured whiskey.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching a special pre-election program right here on SABC2. We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios in Johannesburg.
Now, our topic tonight is service delivery protests, and we've asked our viewers why people still feel the need to protest this after 17 years of democracy.
please to be minority. O ene re le paya. Ne ka be re tsa one vela ka tswa party re kana party e ngwe bane party le tlo etsa different.
It's not worth it voting for someone else. And even if you vote for someone else, they promise you something and they don't do it. So what's the point?
Di promises tse government di etsa ditshepiso tse ngata ho batho tse le reng batho ha ba sa na le nako hore ba ka nna ba di mamela kapo ba ya ba ba lo vote ba tlo qeta ho vote tla ga ba qeta ho vote ba fumana ntho tse ha di sa phethahala.
They are fed up with the service that they're paying for and not getting.
We elected them, we should take them up. And but there is no action groups that actually can do things like that. So that's why people resort to protesting.
Isikhathi apartheid cabanga kwethu sahamba ukuthi ukuze into ilunge kumele ukuthi sishone sestradini saphe sitoyitoye.
We get frustrated. And the ballot boxes come how many times a year?
Now, Belfour is a small coal mining and maize farming town in the Dipelaseng municipality in Mpumalanga. It is here that violent service delivery protests started in 2009. Mweli Masilelate reports for us.
Isiyathemba lokishi laseBalfour lelitinde amakhilomitha lamashumi eMpumalanga neLjuzi. Nanoma nje ligama lelokishi lichaza ukuthi siyathemba. Bahlali balapha sebalahlekelwa lithemba ngoba intuthuko iseseliphupho kubo. Eminyakeni lemibili endlulile kube nembhikisho kulendzawo. Lemiyendi yayo beyihambisana neludlame. Kwalahleka impilo tebantfu, labaningi balimala, kanti nempahla yahulumende yacikelwa phasi. Bahlali bakhala ngengatfula ukuthi sisita ngendlela lefanele, lokufaka ekhatsi imigwaco, emanti lahlandekile, kanye nekuswelakala kwamathuba emisebenzi. Linyenti lensha yakulendzawo lizula etaladini njengoba kungenamisebenzi. Bathi nanoma nje kuvulwa imayini lensha kulendzawo, umsebenzi Solomon Do siva.
Ukuthi bakhetha ubani asazi, abaphiza umphakathi uzosikhethela. Uzowanelisela. Bakhethiwa abanye.
Ama-service delivery abawenzi. Mele beze kithi umphakathi bakhulume nathi basitshele, sibatshele idingo zethu bakhona ukuthi basimite halfway.
Kuphumisela indukuthelo yabo ebaleni. Bahlali bashisa umtapo wencwadi kanye nesakhiwo sekholela impensheni.
Yofuneka sizame simphakathi ukuthi sikhondeme futhi kungabi into esipromotayo ngoba sithi sikhalela ezinye zezinto uthola ukuthi kuloko esinako siphinde siyakluza mhlambe ekufana nama libraries. Into ebangela lokho kakhulu kusuke kuyi-anger evela emphakathini.
Bahlali bathi lo mtapo wencwadi bese ungabaseti ngalutho.
Library bephethe incwadi zakudala baba mani education yashintsha phela.
Nanoma nje bahlali banetikhalo elivakalako tento tabo tibuyisela emuva imtamo yokwethula tinsita.
You take money from one point and you put it in another because you prioritize that particular area, and somebody just wake up in the morning because you are angry and you start breaking.
Eminyakeni ndondulile umengameli Jacob Kadleyihlekisa Zuma watheleka ngekwakhe kutothola kabanti ukuthi ngabe isala kuphi. Nanoma nje avumelana nemphakathi ukuthi ikhalo tawo tiyavakala waceka lidlame lebabhikishi.
That is not acceptable. So whilst the complaints or the concerns are genuine, but the action at a certain point, if they went beyond what would be accepted as the manner of protesting.
Imitholampilo mbili nje kuphela kulendzawo. Ayitekwa ke esibhedlela kuthi ngisho nasinye. Lidolobha iHeidelberg lisondelene nelokishi isiyathemba. Kodwa abahlali kudingeka ukuthi bahambe umgama lamakhilomitha langu-80 kodwa bafike esibhedlela saseStanderton. Seyilungisiwe ke leyo ngoba abahlali basesiyathemba sebavumelekile ukusebenzisa isibhedlela saseHeidelberg. Kumanje bahlali bathi umengameli Jacob Zuma wenda dethembiso lesolo tingafezeki. Bakholela ukuthi iBalfour kube ingaphansi kwesifundza saseGauteng ngabe ingcono kakhulu.
Umsebenzi uyabizwa nache mining uyenze assessment into sekawufela abaqeda abasikawubili.
Department latithi imiklamo thide seyiqalile kuhlangabetana nezidingo zabahlali. Kuphakelo kwamandi kulungisiwe nemgwaco longena elokishini sewulungisiwe. Kanti futhi nesakhiwo lesibukene nedehlakalo sesakhiwe kulendzawo.
There's a lot of work that we are actually doing now and try to assist them. There's actually I can say that they're still struggling because even in terms of their financial management they actually find it disclaimer this year.
Lukhetho labohulumende basemakhaya selivele lisemnyango lapho kutawukhethwa khona emakhansela. Insha lapho isatetikile noko ukuthi ivote noma cha.
Yes, voted.
Vote khona sizovota senza njani? part yempilo.
noma kukubi kanje sawuvota sivotele abantu ebazosinceda.
Sesithembela lesikhathi bahlali babhekishela kutfula ukuthi insida kodwa liningi lisabukela ekhalweni ukuthi Mandulo ngabe uyavuthwa na. Moel Masilela, SABC, esiyathemba eBalfour.
Now it seems that government has taken heed of the widespread service delivery protests in the Free State. Premier Ace Magashule has announced a flagship service delivery program, Operation Hlasela. Motale Sibogo reports.
Some of the country's most violent service delivery protests were experienced here. One of the worst affected areas was Interbazwe, Harrismith in the Eastern Free State. The protest over poor service delivery spread to many parts of the province. Faced with a massive service delivery backlog like the rest of South Africa, Magashule initiated what was to be a total onslaught against poverty, hunger, malnutrition, unemployment and other social ills. But what is Operation Hlasela?
We are actually going to build roads in this town. We are going to put sewerage in this town. We are building houses in this town. I'm happy that we have already built houses for white people. They are here. They can talk for themselves.
They say Hlasela has impacted heavily on the lives of the poor. With a strong emphasis on job creation, many locals got temporary employment, especially in the smaller municipalities.
Our government have given us the job. We are still unemployed in this town. Now we are very happy just because government gave me something to eat. I'm working as now.
Bigger houses with proper ceilings and bathrooms were built. Impoverished whites also became beneficiaries. Disabled people also benefited. As part of the program to ensure a better qualified Free State workforce, especially with regard to scarce skills, about 2,500 students received study bursaries estimated at over 100 million rand.
Success is a combination of ability and hard work. When we're away from home, we must just remember that when we're here, we should combine our talents and abilities and hard work in order to achieve our successes. Everyone gave me a message to hold on for the rest of my life.
It's a fantastic initiative by the Premier, just to hear the students' side and perspectives on the changing environment and also the studying methods in comparison with those in schools. And I think also the message that was delivered by the Premier was basically, if I can summarize it, was work hard, be yourself and make memories.
Magashule and his executive council members visited the learners at their respective learning institutions. And national government is impressed.
What is going on in the Free State currently? National government is very impressed and they're looking at how best can they emulate what is happening here into other provinces, because it really brings change. It also touches on the lives of ordinary people.
And leading academics are also impressed.
There are significant inroads Operation Hlasela is making, even though the overall impact will take a bit of time to come. And I think because of that particular operation, which I think is filtering down to grassroots level, that is going to strengthen the ANC during the coming elections.
To make it more sustainable, employed people contribute voluntarily to the Operation Hlasela Fund. I'm Motale Sibeho, SABC News, Bloemfontein.
And to shed more light on the issue of service delivery protests, we now joined by IDASA's Manager of Policy Research and Documentation, Mr. Joe Mavuso. He is in our Pretoria studios. Joe, good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good evening.
I just said Morning Live. This is what happens when you do 2 shows a day. Welcome to our special election show. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at a survey by TNS Research Surveys. Basically, it revealed that more than 51% of residents in 7 cities are still unhappy with service delivery. And of course, violence linked to their unhappiness being almost a certainty. 51% is actually a huge number. Do you foresee this number increasing before the elections?
Well, before elections, there are tendencies or threats that people are saying they are not going to vote. But this does not necessarily translate into a violent protest. It's just that maybe people are opting to stay away, although we will encourage them to still go ahead and vote for the people that they think they will do a difference in the coming elections.
Yeah. In his address to the National Council of Provinces last month, Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe said that service delivery in many municipalities was actually failing due to lack of involvement by communities and other stakeholders. Are communities not involved in decisions made on their behalf?
Yes, I think that's a bigger problem that is also making this problem bigger of dysfunctional municipalities. Actually, if we look very close, municipalities are doing something, but they are just that they are in distress. In a recent study that IDASA conducted in about 4 provinces in our country, we discovered that chief among many problems is the issue of communication between the municipality and its citizenry. Therefore, that gap of being able to go to your people and tell them that this is what you are able to do, this is what you can't do, it's lacking. So my appeal, it will be that there must be a clear line of communication that is stemming from an understanding and agreement between the municipality and the community. So what community systems or public structures that are there, that government has created, must be reviewed so that then it creates more space for people to come on board and participate. Otherwise, public participation is still a big problem.
Some have suggested that behind some of these protests there is somehow a political influence. Do you agree with this, or do you think people are actually just fed up?
Well, it's a mixture of things. In most areas, of course, is a question of disenchantment, where people are just disillusioned and they've got no hope anymore. But in most instances as well, there are people with motives that they are fueling these things. Just now, recently, we heard that in the northwest, in the Molopo area and Kagisohaga municipalities, people are threatening not to go to vote because the demarcation board have seen fit to merge the 2 municipalities because it's of its population and the vastness that is just full of farms. And people are saying they're not going to vote and they're saying they have never been consulted. But when you look at the government gazette, it is there, people were consulted, and this establishment of those municipalities is in the legislature. So there's some bit of disingenuousness that people have been contacted, but it's just that they are now being used by other people to say, don't go and vote, because they've got their own ulterior motives. So yes, in some instances, there are political interferences and political disestablishment in those areas.
All right, let's leave it there for this evening. Thank you very much for talking to us. Mr. Joe Mavuso, of course, he is from IDASA, talking to us on this special pre-election program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's take a break, and when we return, we're going to hear from one of the smaller parties contesting these elections. We're talking about the Minority Front, and we'll find out what they stand for. Stay tuned.
Please watch the food. I have to quickly fetch the kids.
Okay, my good. That meat smells nice. Now where is it?
Everything okay?
Yes, my girl. But I can't find the meat.
It's right here.
It's no rocks. Even without meat, your stew is as meaty as ever.
Germs? Our empire of sickness stretches all over the bathroom. But why is it in danger? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, what's this?
Just 1 capful of thick, powerful Domestos cleans all surfaces in the bathroom and kills germs and viruses on contact.
There is nowhere to hide.
Domestos kills all known germs dead everywhere.
Magnum Mini pleasures at home.
Ach, no, man, I'm full of grease. This water's cold. This is not lekker.
Chill, dude. Endless days of scrubbing are like over. The ladies bought new Sunlight Turbo.
What do you know, Boot?
This new formulation with real lemon juice will cut through your grease fast, even in cold water.
Cool brew.
Here's to faster degreasing.
Faster degreasing at any temperature with Sunlight Turbo.
A long time ago, I started using Robertson's herbs and spices to season chicken. I combined chicken spice and rosemary with lemon juice and spread the mixture under the skin so the flavors cook right through. Things have changed over the years, but not the way I cook chicken. Robertson's, what's your combination?
SMS chicken to 33729 to receive this tip.
Welcome back. You're watching a special pre-election show right here on SABC2. Now, in every episode, we're giving one of the smaller parties contesting the local government elections an opportunity in 60 seconds to state his or her party's case.
All right, now is the turn of the minority front. Let's listen to its leader, Amichan Rajbansi.
This is Amichan Rajbansi, leader of the minority front. We can bring good governance to KwaZulu-Natal. MF has the formula. As a former MEC for sports, my sports department was declared the best sports department in the country. We have the ability to turn around, to have service delivery, to make sure that we have excellent local government, progressive local government, where the citizens can get basic services about which they are protesting and complaining. We say to the voters, vote for the MF to save our city from bad management, from inefficiency and corruption.
Oh, well, there's the minority front for you. Now, listen, we've got some news we've just been handed at the moment. Kasatu's Tony Ehrenreich has confirmed on his Facebook page that he will be the ANC's mayoral candidate in next month's elections.
Will that be for Gauteng?
No, Western Cape.
For Western Cape.
That's it. So it's been confirmed he's going to be running for that. So there you have the news that's come out. Lots of speculation, but they're the facts now.
Okay, and that was the news ties, and this nicely without topic for tomorrow night. And we'll focus on the political scene on the highly contested Western Cape, as you just said.
Ties in nicely. So do join us tomorrow evening at 6 here on SABC2. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Cheers.